Oh boy, this one is quite the throwback. So, if you've been paying attention for a while or knew me ages ago, you know I kinda started my online career with a DeviantArt page when I was 13. I had some fan characters, wrote some fanfics I posted there. Almost all of it was Sonic-based. The first I ever wrote was a theoretical Sonic Adventure 3 concept that I first conceptualized when 06 was still in development. Eventually, I turned it into a full fanfic and posted it to an account that's sadly long gone now. But I called it Chaos Theory, and it was, honestly, still pretty great looking back. But one of the biggest things I did with it was a very high-stakes finale that required the entire cast of 9 heroes gathering on the Ark and splitting into 3 different teams, vastly different from the usual. I had a pretty terrible OC as the 3rd flying team member, alongside Tails and Rouge. Nowadays, I would probably replace them with, probably Shade. She really needs to be canonized. Here's to hoping that happens in Frontiers 2. Team Power was, of course, Knuckles, Omega, and Blaze. And lastly, there was Team Speed, being, of course, Sonic, Shadow, and Silver. The last team was tasked with using Chaos Control to breach a barrier cutting off the inner chambers of the Ark, in which a new, horrific incarnate of Chaos was gathering power in the temple structure of the Ark's core, which was passively absorbing chaos energy made from events of mass destruction it organized on Earth. The trick to it was, the barrier was too strong to break through and couldn't be disabled from the outside. Being made of such potent chaos energy, it disrupts attempts to breach it with Chaos Control. Only something that can ignore and neutralize the barrier could give them passage. And so, Silver threw a Chaos Emerald through the barrier, and all 3 of them used Chaos Control to pass through, with the intention of passing through the Chaos Emerald to emerge on the other side of the barrier. The timing would be incredibly precise and tricky, with Silver's psychokinesis only slightly extending it. What they accidentally achieved was something magnificent. Reappearing on top of each other, reconstructing from raw chaos energy into organic matter in the same space, managed to combine them into something far greater than the sum of their parts. A new Hedgehog was born, sporting Sonic's natural speed and finesse, Shadow's raw power and chaos manipulation, and Silver's psychokinetic prowess. With all these powers channeled by a single warrior and amplifying one another, this fusion was nearly unstoppable. But, you know what's stopping me? Not enough of you guys are commenting. I have over 200 subscribers, and not many of you are commenting on my videos. And I need a consistent flow of those so the algorithm stops hiding my videos. So please like, comment, and subscribe for more content. Spread it around so any friends or family you think would enjoy it can finally witness my channel and hopefully pump those numbers up faster. I'd really appreciate the help. Now, back to the Speedpaint. I had a few pieces I made of him well over a decade ago. Almost 2 now, but they're long gone. So as a fun piece for myself, I decided to get back to my roots and redesign him as an extension of my Sonic Timeskip Speedpaint series. A new design based on combining my timeskip versions of the Hedgehogs, producing this magnificent warrior anew. The boots I felt were pretty easy to figure out. Using Silver's long, tall boots as the base, throw in the elements of my version of Shattuck's shoes, use Silver's golden cuffs as limiters that can be opened without having to be removed, and replace all the black with Silver's navy. All in all, pretty simple. The gloves were a bit tougher. I had to keep the armored padding and Silver's gold cuffs. I debated whether to use Silver's navy gloves or Sonic's white ones, but eventually settled on the navy. Sonic's gloves are by far the most basic, so most of their elements came from Shadow and Silver instead. His quills were a natural mesh of all three. Silver's head crest with only 3 quills, a top row of 3 quills with Shadow's orientation, and 3 bottom quills with Sonic's orientation, but the 2 outer ones having the increased length and bulk of Silver's pair. Throw in some blue streaks on dark teal fur, and it all came together quite nicely. Lastly, all the glowing accents from Silver and the open gold cuffs take on a bright prismatic coloration using all 3's Chaos Energy colors, and their red, blue, and green scarves combine into a singular white one via RGB light physics. In the end, I'm quite happy with this new rendition of an old favorite. Almost has me tempted to do a comic series based on an update of the original fanfic concept. But there's one last thing. Their name. Well, it's not in the title because it takes a bit of logic to get. Common fusion naming conventions are to combine the names of the components, but that's a little difficult when using 3 parts. So instead, I chose to name them off of a word using letters from all 3. It took a bit, but even as a kid, when I first made the fusion, I found one that was a perfect fit. This is Savior the Hedgehog. And you can expect he'll only appear when a savior is most needed. And he'll have the power to fit the role of his name every time. Well, that's enough rambling for now. I have more of the Mesopus region project to get back to. This is the Envoy of Kairos, signing out. Thanks for watching, guys.